Want to level up your leadership? Welcome to The Boss Coach.
Hey boss, how's business? Patrick got me talking in metrics. Hey boss, how's business? I'm the boss coach of my own moves. Hey buddy!
Yeah, I am back and I've got a new theme song. How about that? I decided we'll just change the theme song with every season. So season 2, theme song 2. I like this one too. It's kind of Andrews Sisters-like, Well, let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you like it too. Well, hey boss, how's business? Have you missed me? I know you have. I took a little holiday break there, but now we're here with season 2 of The Boss Coach. And what can you expect this season? Well, more of my big opinions, like them or not, more great guests, and more tips for leaders, and even more for their teams this time. So hopefully everybody can take place in the party. Thanks for clicking and listening. My name is Patrick McGranahan, and welcome back to The Boss Coach. If you're new to the show, check out the podcast trailer. That is episode 100. Gives you background on what The Boss Coach is all about, what I'm trying to accomplish here, etc. And of course, check out all of season 1 as well. There's lots of great basics there for leveling up your leadership. And I hope you all had a nice holiday too. It's definitely quieter, which we kind of needed because this is going to be a busy year. I don't know about you, but 2026 is already coming in pretty hot for me. Well, I mentioned that season 2 will have more content for people who report to leaders also, not just leaders. Nearly everybody reports to somebody. Even the CEO reports to the board, and the board reports to shareholders, and so on. So we've all got a boss. So let's talk about how to keep your boss happy.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, I was originally going to call this the care and feeding of your leader, because it's not just how you can keep them off your back, right? It's how you can help them, which is kind of your point for being in the company anyway. And keeping them happy probably will keep them off your back, to be honest. But rather than what bosses do wrong, today let's talk about what you can do right. I like to make life easy for people. I was raised in an environment, along with my siblings, where things didn't really come easy. Our parents' attention and time were very captivated by a lot of things, and there was great respect for self-sufficiency. Some might say being feral, but call it self-sufficiency. And there really is no nobility and neediness. Let's explore the flip side of this later in the season. But for this case, it was important to be able to take care of yourself. And a big part of servant leadership is making sure that nobody needs anything, that you anticipate and provide, giving them space to succeed, which they do. And so now we focus on upward servant leadership today, meaning giving your boss what they need. I tell my people, look, I'm as good a boss as you let me be, and that usually works out pretty well. But through my research, the answer to this question is divided into 4 categories: alignment, performance, attitude, and style. These will make a lot more sense when I unpack them. But they're tips and tricks for the proper care and feeding of your boss. First of all is alignment. Now, a big part of this one is communication. Always communication. You want your leader to know that you're on the same page, always, and therefore the same team. It's called a state of accord. I can trust you because we have the same beliefs. For example, you've got kids, I've got kids. You have a large family, I have a large family. You have a house in the country, me too. Whatever it is, you identify with them in some way, and they'll understand if you do and make that a priority as well because it's important to them. And how do you do this? Well, a couple ways. Number 1, give them proactive updates. Don't wait for them to say, hey, how's it going on that project? You just make it a point to tell them first. Give them alerts on progress on anything like issues, roadblocks, etc. Help them see around corners. Shows that you're adding value. Number 2, show that you know the goal. You know that saying, she understood the assignment. Reference how you're contributing to what the overall goal is, and that you are helping them get toward it. Number 3, ask for feedback. Like, hey, how was that report? Is this meeting deck what you wanted? How'd the board like your presentation? Whatever it is, but just ask for feedback. Give them the chance to give you some coaching in a gentle way. So it's not in a situation where it was needed, but that you're asking for it. What does this look like? What does alignment look like in everyday life? Well, let me give you an example here. I do a Monday morning message I call the Precap. It goes out to leadership and it keeps them all looped into upcoming things, support issues, trends, rollouts, whatever it is. It just keeps them in the know. That's a great way to make sure everybody is aligned. But it also shows my boss that my influence and alignment is division-wide and not just with my boss. That way they know I am carrying on the message for the team, for the department, and they don't have to. That is a great way to keep your boss happy. Second is performance. Hey, I say this all the time, guys. The most important thing is to be good at your job. As a leader or as an individual contributor, either way, just be great at what you do. Deliver results. Be a star player. Be an influencer so you can build others up. And that helps your boss tremendously. That takes a lot off their plate. Don't think of it as making yourself irreplaceable because that makes you unpromotable. Instead, show that you can raise others up, and that's way more important. How do you do this? Well, a couple ways. Number 1, quality. Be consistent. Be reliable, proofread your work, check your emails, peer review even, ask for other people's opinions. Just be impeccable. Make sure you're not on their radar in the bad way. Number 2, bring solutions, not problems. Even if they're just options, it shows that your focus is on correcting things, on the overall resolution and not just griping at them all the time. Obviously, you need to bring things to their attention, but come with an answer. Number 3, take initiative. Ask how you can help. Volunteer for projects. Reduce your boss's burden. Say yes to things. Show that you are not only there if they ask you, but you'll put yourself out there first. And what does this look like? Well, back when I worked in the coffee business, yes, it's a coffee story. When I was an individual contributor, I wanted to do a little more, and I realized that it wasn't going to come to me. I had to find it. So I asked my boss, hey, can I help with inventory? I know you don't like doing inventory. So he said, yeah, so you can help with inventory. After that, it was, you're doing cash reconciliation. That takes some time to end the night. How about I do that? I'm like, okay, so he let me do cash reconciliation. I was good at that. Next was staff scheduling. Mark, his name was, really hated doing staff scheduling. So that was an easy one to give up. And I was pretty good at that too. I thought I was pretty fair and I learned a lot. Next was ordering and then the profit and loss report. You get the idea. It all goes up in skill set and in importance as we proceed through all those tasks. And I got to get trained for all those. So then when I got my first general manager opportunity, I already had all those skills. I was already trained because I went out and got those. I performed well and I was proactive. Again, a great way to take care of your boss. Third is attitude. This is all about professionalism. Now, when a boss thinks of you, are you someone they can trust to sub in on a meeting or with a steering committee? Or are they worried you might show up in an ironic t-shirt? Just don't give any red flags. Have the attitude that shows I'm here for business. Now, how do you do that? Well, a couple ways. Number 1, be positive. Focus on the good things. That makes boss happy. Always talk about negative things means you're bringing problems. We talked about this last season too. Bring solutions, not problems. That makes them happy. Number 2, got to be reliable. That's a big part of your attitude. It shows what your focus is. You do what you say you're going to do. Again, be impeccable with your word. Number 3, be respectful. Build rapport, but keep it professional. Even with your boss, with the people that report to them, your peers, anybody. Build that rapport so they know that you have the attitude that says, I am here to stay and I'm part of the team. And number 4, avoid negativity. You've heard me say this a couple times already, but especially when it comes to things like gossip, politics, even if they deserve some negative input or to be talked about negatively, then just try to avoid that. Make everything positive. I struggle with this myself, I will say, but I think I've gotten better. You've got to look at things and describe things and talk about things in a narrative that is constructive and not deconstructive. So what does that look like in your life? All right, well, once I was an associate general manager in a bakery restaurant. And, every day the main office would send this thing called the bake sheet. This is back when we had faxes. And we'd look at the bake sheet, approve it, adjust it, say, no, I think I need more muffins, I think I need less breads, whatever. And then we fax it back to them. Well, one time I got the order in the bake sheet, and it said we need 111 French breads. And really, we only ever went through 12. Instead of just correcting it and saying 12 is a more appropriate number, I wrote something really sarcastic on it and sent it back. And of course, I got yelled at because that was not constructive and that showed a bad attitude. I agree. That is not the place to get cute. Think from the boss's perspective. You're making them look bad to the people at the main office, and that's never good. That is not a good way to take care of your boss or make them happy. And finally, number 4, style. That is working style. This is about adaptation to what your boss expects. So is your boss an early riser? Is he a late typer? Is she in a different time zone? It's really good to know their Myers-Briggs or Enneagram or sales key, service key, whatever it is. Whatever personality test that you know of that you can identify and get a better idea of what kind of a person, how they think. Maybe even astrology, I don't know, but some way to know how to adapt to their working style and their expectations. How do you do that? Well, number 1, look at how they communicate. Do they like to talk on the phone? Yuck. Or would they rather use Teams? Do they want to text you on the phone? Do they like to drop by handwritten sticky notes? Whatever it is, be able to adapt to the type of communication style and working style that they like. Number 2 on style is be present. Don't be distracted. If you're on a Zoom, make sure that you're on camera and you're facing forward. You're not doing something else. You're not checking your phone. You are there and you are engaged. And that says a lot about your working style. Show engagement too by following up with next steps and knowing what the action items are. Also things like don't take really long lunches or prioritize non-work activity. Just the things that show that you are engaged and you're there to work. Now, what does this look like in everyday life? Well, personally, I've changed leaders, 13 times. On each one, I would always send a meeting agenda before a one-to-one. Some wanted them printed. Some wanted me to deliver it in person. Some wanted them emailed ahead of time. Some wanted a shared Confluence document. Some wanted on a OneNote. Doesn't matter. It's not something to push back on. It's an easy way to show adaptation. You'd like it done this way? No problem. Maybe you don't even want the agenda. Maybe you want to be surprised. No problem. I'll adapt to that. But mainly this working style point is all about showing them that you are willing to bend a little to how they prefer. And then in that case, they will be more willing to bend and to cater to what you want. So these 4 steps are great for making your boss happy, but I know what you're thinking. What if I've got a bad boss? Do I even want to adapt to that? Here's how to follow that same playbook with a toxic leader. The key here is not being offensive, but be seen as on the quiet defensive. Making them happy means diffusing their power over you. So on alignment with the toxic boss. This is more like a reconnaissance here. Learn about them and how they communicate, and that will tell you a lot about who they are. You don't have to share their beliefs or tactics and all that. You just have to be able to understand them. Like an example, we had this employee in a related team where they were going on medical leave. And this boss of ours said, well, I had a surgery like that. I went back to work the next day. Instead of getting accusatory or whatever, making a scowl like I'd like to do, I calmly said, well, no, HR has a defined policy and we'll follow that. And that really calmed that person down. All right, how about performance for a toxic boss? You've got to keep delivering so they don't attack you. Again, don't put a target on your back. They need stuff done, so produce good work to deflect them. Even if they take credit for it, we'll deal with that on another episode, but you need to keep performing so they don't put you in their crosshairs. So here's an example. I work for an insurance broker under a micromanager, and they finally hired a second specialist. I just kept my head down, and she ended up fixating on that new person instead. Again, deflecting, but still putting out impeccable performance so you're never under their microscope. All right, what about attitude with a bad boss? So be hyper aware of attitude. You can't reflect back that toxicity. You have to stay calm and be above it. Diffuse through calm and professional demeanor. So here's an example. We did an escape room one time with a not great boss. And about 5 minutes into this thing with our team, he threw the stuff on the floor and said, we're never going to get this, blah, blah, blah. So I calmly took charge of the team. We assigned tasks. We figured out each little puzzle. And you know what? We got out of there. We won. We escaped successfully. But I was leading the strategy and I didn't get derailed by his bad attitude. And of course, by the end, he was claiming that, we won, we succeeded, when he just sat in a corner and pouted the whole time. And finally, style with a bad boss. This is the toughest one, I tell you what, because they're probably going to have poor expectations of work hours and bad boundaries, etc. So you need to make sure that you are very precious about your own boundaries. But instead, suggest counter expectations. So if your boss, she says, I should be able to reach you any time of day or night, instead talk about when you are available and talk about how that is a better way and that nobody else you'd work with are on those hours, so it really doesn't matter, etc. So example from my life before, somebody was sending emails on the weekends. And so I would respond with, I'll look at it first thing Monday, or did you need it done on the weekend? So that kind of throws it back at them like, yes, I do know it's on the weekend. I'm saying I'm open to doing it, but are you aware it's the weekend? Well, then the boss admitted the expectation was Monday for any weekend communications. It was just more convenient to email while they were thinking about it. No problem. We actually diffused that situation and I learned their style expectations without just committing to the first thing that they said. So there you go. To care for and feed your boss, you be aligned, you perform well, you check your attitude, and you adapt to the style. That will keep them satisfied and off your back, whether or not you have a great leader or a boss hole. Currently, I have 2 managers under me, and here's how they keep me happy. We've all spent a lot of time getting to know each other, so we're all aligned and they know exactly what's expected, and I will do literally anything for them. I give them some latitude, but then again, they perform impeccably. They make my life so much easier. Attitude-wise, well, we're all a little sarcastic, and we actually encourage some of that, and some venting within guardrails, and you really have to. So we're all sort of on the same page when it comes to that silly attitude, but we've adapted to each other. Now, style-wise, I'm really not that demanding, but again, I do have a sense of urgency, and there's really no nobility in neediness, so we agree on shared expectations for availability, communication, meeting cadence, touch bases, and even PTO, and that really helps. Ideally, you keep each other happy, right? The ideal there is equilibrium, because that's harmony, and harmony is the essence of happiness. Well, here's what you could do right now to level up your leadership and keep your boss happy. I want you to rate yourself 1 to 10 in alignment, performance, attitude, and style. That relates to how you are with who you report to. Anything under an 8, I want you to focus on shoring that up, but lean into being conscious of their needs over yours, just like you do for your own reports. Again, you are servant leading up. It's up to you to create happy. Okay, well, thank you for your time. I am Patrick McGranahan, the Boss Coach. Make sure to follow the Boss Coach on Spotify. Some platforms have you subscribe. That way you get notice of new episodes. Whatever it is, sign up. Continue to share my episodes with friends too. Help spread the word. I really appreciate it. I know I've talked about how my listeners do share a lot. That doesn't mean we can't do better. So keep sending out to other people who you think may need to hear the message today. And remember to like and leave comments too. That's what the algorithm seems to like. Just comment on the episode with whatever you like. In this case, it's whether you like the new theme song or how the message resonated with you, how you keep your boss happy, etc. Rate and review if it asks you to do that, all that good stuff. Share with people who maybe aren't even in leadership. Like in this new season, we're trying to have more evergreen content for people who aren't just leaders, but people who report to leaders, which is basically everybody. So today's episode really does have a lot for people who aren't bosses, but maybe want to be a boss, or just work with a difficult one. Either way, I think everybody has a boss, so everybody should listen. But until then, I'll see you next time on The Boss Coach. Back to work, boss.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
Thank you for joining us today for The Boss Coach, hosted by Patrick McGranahan. We'd also like to thank our associate producer Hannah and consulting contributor Stephanie. Original music provided by Sono AI Studio. All statements and opinions by our host and guests are solely their own observations and may not reflect those of their contemporaries or employers. Please check out other episodes of The Boss Coach for more valuable opportunities to level up your leadership. Until next time, I am your announcer Ava. Have a great day, and as always, lead with your heart.